My wife and I have been in the dairy business for over 35 years in southern New Mexico, just north of El Paso, Texas, between Las Cruces and El Paso. And we always had a workforce that anywhere from 70 to 75 people on a 6,000 cow dairy. And we always looked at the different people as far as their schedules were concerned. And a lot of people got left out and never had the opportunity to attend church on Sunday because of the work schedule. Basically, they're Hispanic workers. Every one of them speak very, very little English. My wife is Hispanic, and we speak a lot of Spanish around our house just to keep me prolific in Spanish, because I had to deal with them all in Spanish. They're all just great individuals, great character, great kind of people. But you know, they didn't have the Lord in their hearts, and I could tell that. We had started a small group of individuals that were interested in coming up Sunday night after work and visiting with us and seeing us what we were doing. It was just a small Bible study that my wife and I had, and that started out with 2 or 3 guys, and by the time that we got done with that, it was like over 20 guys. I had one gentleman. His real name was Sergio, but he was a real thin kid, so we call him Flaco. Flaco in Spanish is skinny, and he was a tough kid. He'd been around me and been a part of the dairy for 20 years. His father worked there. He grew up on the dairy. The day he graduated from high school, he walked into my office and said, "I want to go to work." Put him to work, and as we put together our deal at Christmas time, we let him come into the house, and we've got a huge table there, and I had left my Bible on the table for a study that we'd had from the night before. Flaco was one of these no-nonsense kind of guys. You know, just nothing. Everything had to be legit, and everything was right. And happens to be that New Year's party that we had that day. I caught my eye over there, and I looked at him, and he's got paging through that Bible there, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa. You know, I looked at my wife, and I said, "Look at there, Flaco's flacking through that Bible." And so we kind of didn't think nothing about it. Well, the party happened to be on Friday. Well, the next Sunday night, Bible study time comes, and got the table in. All of a sudden, they're knocking on the door, and there's a family. And guess who's tailing behind? Flaco brings his whole family. Well, it was just fortunate enough, because he meant so much to the dairy and so much to the people around the dairy, that if Flaco did something, everybody did it. Well, we started, and second week we had over 30 people there. And then at that point I said, "Whoa, man, I got to find me a preacher, because I'm just a layman out here trying to do what the Lord wanted us to do." So right in my hands, that very next day, I found me a Spanish-speaking preacher in town. Worked for the county of Doña County, was a county worker, but had gone to the seminary and had spent his time and was looking to become a preacher. We got together, and he just hit the group right. Everybody respected him. Everybody liked him. And you know, we worked so hard at what we did, and we were very fortunate that when we left Las Cruces in 2009, that's 4 years after we established the church, we had a membership of over 120 people. We were meeting every Sunday night in one of the local Baptist churches, and God had driven us so hard. But you know, my wife and I, that means so much to us. And God meant this to be. God meant this to be. I mean, we were there for a reason, and that reason took over 35 years for us to put together, and the church to this day is still established.